Hello guys and welcome back to the 2023-24 SDPN NHL season previews. Next up we have the San Jose Sharks, who are aiming to be one of the worst teams in the NHL this year, and they probably will. But how bad will they be? What can they look forward to this next year? Make sure you watch till the end because we're going to be dissecting every part of the Sharks roster that doesn't look all too good. But before we get to the Sharks preview, let's first shout out our sponsor today in Sports Interaction. Get into the action and make your bet with Sports Interaction. The baseball is going strong. A lot of sports are starting to start up. Make your bet whenever you want. Bet before the game or live in play with all your favorite teams. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN or download the app to get started. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Now, for the Sharks team, they finished 4th last in the NHL last year with 60 points, and you see teams like Anaheim, Columbus, Chicago, all within a couple of points of them and getting much better, all three of those teams. To me, there is almost zero chance next year that the San Jose Sharks aren't the worst team in the league, and when I look at it, it's pretty easy to see why. Now, let's go through their offseason additions because it actually wasn't that bad. They acquired Anthony Duclair from the Florida Panthers in a pretty solid move here, and I don't think it'll be bad whatsoever. He got 9 points in 20 games last year, solid in the playoffs with 11 points in 20 games. He'll probably be around a 40-50 point guy and probably one of their best point producers, maybe in that top two, honestly. You also have Philip Zadina, who they acquired, who got in buyout trouble with the Detroit Red Wings. They got him in free agency for $1.1 million, and a pretty interesting deal. We'll see if he's maybe able to get a bigger opportunity, maybe on that top 6, perhaps. He's a player, though, maybe alongside Tomas Hertl, his Czech brother. Maybe we see a little bit of a resurgence in Philip Zadina. I'm not quite sure if we see that. Maybe we'll see his best season, maybe a little bit of breakup, maybe around 30 to 35 points, but I wouldn't really expect anything too special unless we see a big jump out of his skill set and pace. Then going on to Mackenzie Blackwood, a goaltender they got in free agency, or they traded from the Devils. He's going to be an interesting spot here because of how rough his last few seasons have been. 893 save percentage in 2023, 892 save percentage in 2022. It's really been all downhill since that solid 2022 or 2020 season with New Jersey. He's maybe in a position to rebound, but considering the defense around him, I wouldn't bet on that either. And then you got the players they acquired in the Erik Karlsson deal in Mike Hoffman and Mikael Granlund. I mean, additions is very generous for these two players. They'll be on the middle 6, but not by choice. San Jose needed options, and hey, they could fill holes, but aren't really going to be all too productive there. And then you go on to the offseason subtractions, of course, led by their MVP in Erik Karlsson, who basically carried them from being basically a last place team to not being a last place team. James Reimer, who played 43 games for them last year with an 890 save percentage, not that big of a loss, really. But when we look at the Sharks team and the development as well going forward, there's 3 players I think are really important for the Sharks heading into this rebuild to really start playing well. And we go to the first player to watch for the Sharks team next season, and I have William Eklund. 7th overall back in 2021, and he's a player that has had some good moments here or there, looked great in the AHL for the Barracuda this last season, but hadn't really stepped into the NHL full time. Now, he did play 8 games, got 3 points, offensively looked pretty solid. But this next year, he could get a top 6 opportunity. There is a lot of ice time with this Sharks forward group, a lot of openness. And to me, William Eklund needs to seize a spot this next season, potentially on the left wing, maybe on that first line. But that opportunity is going to be huge for him. Also, for my second player to watch, I have another young player, Thomas Borderlow, and he was drafted 38th overall back in the 2020 draft. He's the player that's also been developing nicely in the AHL this last year, 41 points in 65 games. Played 8 games with the Sharks, got 2 assists for 2 points. He's another player that could be maybe on that middle 6, maybe as a third line center. We'll see if he maybe takes Nico Sturm's spot. Hopefully at least not getting 4 fly minutes because he deserves way more than that for sure. And then on to the third player to watch. I got Matt Benning, and he's a player that's kind of been all over the league recently, but in San Jose last year looked pretty solid on a bad defense. Got 24 points in 77 games. Maybe we see Matt Benning getting top pair minutes, maybe getting a little more ice time, getting more points, maybe around that 30 to 35 range, and maybe being a player they trade at the deadline for some pretty solid value. As you can tell throughout this preview though, man, it is brutal. It is barren with this San Jose Sharks team. It's just tough to watch. I was scraping and crawling to find somebody for that third spot that we hadn't talked about before, because obviously like an Anthony Duclair or a Philip Zadina are ones to watch, but I wanted to talk about new players in that spot. Let's go on and grade the forwards, defense, and goaltending here. And this again alludes to, in my opinion, the fact that the Sharks are not going to be very good this year and likely in the bottom of the basement, let's go on to the forward group, which is likely the best part of this team. You got some interesting pieces like Tomas Hertl, Logan Couture, of course, Duclair is going to be solid for them. Kevin Labanc can still be solid defensively. But besides that, you're hoping for a lot of youth upgrades here. You're hoping for players like, again, Logan Couture to be way better than they are right now. I'm giving the forward group a D+. It's bad, maybe not the worst in the league, but still not very good either. Now let's go on to that Sharks defense, which looks absolutely brutal. You replace Erik Karlsson and Jan Uruta. That defense was already dreadful. You replace one of the best D in the NHL with a bottom pair D. Doesn't exactly look too good for you. I like Matt Benning, but Vlasic's bad at this point in his career. Ferraro is just kind of okay, saving Radim Simek. Now, we've looked at some bad defenses in this series so far, but this Sharks defense takes the cake. In every single way, they are flat out horrible and will be horrible. They're F-tier worthy, folks. I'm sorry to say it. And then we go to the goaltending, which also could be F-tier worthy. You got two goaltenders, especially Kaapo Kähkönen, who people think is a lot better than he actually is. He's been horrible in San Jose, like absolutely awful. And Mackenzie Blackwood, with how many injuries has had him, just how brutal he's been in the New Jersey Devils system recently. I also don't really have much confidence in him either. Right now, this Sharks goaltending tandem is atrocious. And sure, is the defense bad around them? Yeah, in Kaapo Kähkönen's case, that maybe affects his play a little bit, but he has not been good in San Jose whatsoever. I give the tandem a D-. This is just straight sad to look at. But for San Jose, it's exactly what they need. Be horrible, be terrible. That's what they're going to be this next year. And going on to my biggest question mark will be, will those younger players come up and burst onto the scene? The most important thing for the Sharks this next year is William Eklund plays well, players like Thomas Borderlo play well, we see a rise in Filip Zadina perhaps, they get a couple of maybe solid performances on the defense, but really the most important thing is those younger players playing well and them still being the bottom of the basement. That's what this Sharks team is going to be. That's where they're going to place. I would be shocked if they're outside the top 3. This team is dreadful. I am sad looking at these lineups, man. I don't want to look at them anymore. They're so disgusting. And I think for the Sharks, this is exactly where they should be, though. This is hopefully the worst it will ever get for them. And if they get a top 3 pick in 2023, if they get an Eisman, if they get a Celebrini, that is great and really jumpstarts that rebuild for them in a big way. But in the season placement, I see them getting around 58 to 62 points on the year, 8th in the Pacific Division. And if you couldn't tell already, I think they will be the worst team in the NHL next season, as they should be. I mean, look at the roster, man. What are they supposed to do with that? A lot of teams have some interesting players, some interesting parts of the team. The Sharks, almost everything is bad. If they trade Erik Karlsson, it's going to be a rough one in San Jose. Let us know in the comments down below, though. What do you guys see out of this Sharks team? Do you see them being the worst team in the league? Where do you see them placing in the NHL standings? 32nd, 31st, 30th, 29th, first place. Let me know your thoughts down below. Of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. And share the video with all the hockey fans, all the Sharks fans you guys know online. Get the preview out to them. Thank you so much for watching, folks. 32 teams in 32 days, and we're getting towards the end of it. Thank you so much, though, for watching. We're still not done yet, though. A lot more teams to go, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, and goodbye.